Hi guys, Yuli here with another Wednesday Wisdom Share. A lot has transpired and over just this week. I've really evolved quite a bit, and I hope you have too. But I wanted to take a moment to thank you for joining me on this journey and for listening and taking in the stories that I share with you and the wisdom that I share with you. I want to put some of it into context for you, so you don't think I'm just always talking about myself. I guess in a sense I am, but really I'm just sharing my journey with you. I am a life coach, but I'm an art therapy life coach. And but I'm very, very connected with my spirit team. And everything that I've learned, for the most part, has been through them. And so it has been through all of my clair senses and abilities and my close relationship with my spirit team, I'll just say. And that's where it all sort of comes from. And it's my spiritual journey of things that I'm moving through. And as we are of one consciousness, there's probably there is a great percentage of people, humans on this earth, that are moving through the same thing. And some of you might not have the guidance that I have. And it is those people that find this message, and if it finds you, then it's meant for you. And I'm just guided to share my experience, to share where I'm at on my journey and the guidance that I'm receiving and the aha moments that I have. And just to share that with you in hopes that you glean something from it. If it doesn't resonate, then just leave it for the rest. So, without further ado, I just wanted to make that very clear, that I'm not just here to just talk about myself. And this is not a glory post by any means. So this week, there's a lot of changes happening. Change is in the air. I can feel it. I've moved around quite a bit in my life, so I've had a bit of a gypsy spirit, not necessarily fully by choice sometimes, but I'm not also saying that I'm a victim of circumstance by any means. Everything that happened in my life was meant to happen, and it has got me to where I'm at today and has honed my skills and my abilities to what they are today. And everything, every single moment has played an integral part in my evolution, as it has yours. Your experiences have played an integral part in your life and where you are right now. So, and also keeping in mind, that everything happens for us and not to us. And so, in light of that, it's these moments that I would like to discuss with you. So, when I feel the change coming, and I can feel the winds shifting, and I feel a move, like a relocation is coming for me. Um, Perhaps some of it might be influenced by my immediate external surroundings, but I just feel it within my soul and my deep knowing. It's like a gut feeling. I take it to the body, and I feel it deep in my gut, and I feel it in my heart. And I can feel like the goodbyes coming, which are really never goodbyes. That's just a program that's running in the background. But I feel the endings and I feel the beginnings coming. And so it's a mixture of emotions that are coming up for me, again, based upon past experiences, from birth to now. And it's really brought about some really fascinating introspective thoughts for me, but has also opened me up with my awareness of each and every special moment. Like a moment is just a fraction of a fraction of a fraction of a second. I mean, it's teeny tiny, like there's really no measurement of a moment if you really think about it. And so I awoke, past couple of days this has sort of occurred for me, that I awake and I have my usual morning ritual of, get up and immediately make my bed, and then the bathroom and all the things, get dressed, check the weather. I go to the sunrise every single morning, but to go to the sunrise I prepare a tea, a to-go tea. Well, I sat on the edge of the bed and I was like, you know what? As I put my feet on the ground, I said, this could potentially be the last day that I wake up in this place. This could potentially be the last time that I wake up in this town. This could be the last time I wake up in this state. This could be the last time I wake up in this country. This could be the last time that I wake up. But more so, I wasn't really leaning into that part, but leaning more so as in I would be relocating soon. I just can feel it. Whether that will happen, maybe it's just a state of mind, and maybe that's just, me feeling into the energies of other places through my ancestors. That could potentially be. But, I don't want to get anybody stirred up who might listen to this and think, oh my gosh, Yuli is leaving. Maybe lean into that. If I do know you personally and you are here with me, maybe lean into that. What if Yuli is not here tomorrow? And that's kind of where I'm going with this. So I got up and for some reason it was the action and the morning ritual of making my tea for the sunrise that really intuitively pinged me, where I would go out into the kitchen and I would, fill up the hot pot with filtered water and get it started and make sure to push the extra button so that it stays warm for my roommate. And I get my cup and I have my tea bag and I put the honey in there, and there's a whole system that I go through, and there's reasons and there's a method to the madness as to why I make my tea the way that I make my tea. This became like a meditation. It became almost like a spiritual ritual, where it was then, this is a sacred moment right now. This might be the last time that I make my tea here. And I really felt that. And that has really, really affected the way that I see each and every moment now, and the way that I experience each and every moment now. And so I made my tea and I went on my way to go to the sunrise. And even just the going down the stairs, the way that I carry everything. I have a tendency now to leave without shoes on because I have certain shoes in my car that I don't want to bring into the house, but those shoes are anyway. I have, and just certain things that I now bring my attention to, my awareness to, that I do and why I do it that way. And it's either to honor the space or it's to for a purpose, practical purposes. And so even then the drive to the sunrise and being aware of what day it is. If it's a weekday, then, there's a lot more energy and a lot more buzz and how that feels in my body. It feels a little bit more electrifying, whereas the Sunday drive to the sunrise is a completely different feel, and it feels blissful, and that feels like a meditation just in itself because there's nobody on the road. It's easy for me to just visualize that I am the only person here, and all of the shops are asleep. The bustle and the hustle of the town, which now is tourist season, and so it gets really, really busy once the sun comes up. And so leaving the house before the sun comes up, I get to experience the quietness of the energy in the town and how that feels in my body and in my energetic field. And then I get down to the ocean front for the sunrise, which maybe I get there at first light, which is getting a little bit more difficult now that it's getting earlier and earlier, but that's all part of it. It's the challenge then of, can I get up in time, the race of the clock, and trying to bend time to get to the sunrise at exactly the right moment, which, we're really always just in every place at the right moment. And it's just these moments, and each moment is sacred. And if we look at each and every moment as if this is the last time that I'm going to experience this. This is the last time that I'm going to see these sights, smell these smells, hear these sounds, feel this in my body, and really take stock of how do I feel with that? How is that sitting with me? And so, how is that sitting with me? Now that I lean into it, my awareness is there. This can bring about quite a bit of healing, because if you're feeling some kind of way about it, like you're really feeling some kind of way about it, then that's an area for you to lean into a little bit more and ask yourself, why are you feeling that way? But for me personally, in this particular moment, it's a mixed bag of feels right now. I feel like I can feel that I can be the separateness, that I can, extract myself and just be the awareness, that silent part of myself that is just the observer and that is witnessing, and that part doesn't really feel anything at all. It just simply is, and it's just experiencing it. And it's actually the part that brings my attention to the experience, to fully experience what I'm observing, and so that I can be fully present and hold each moment sacred. And so the feels are, initially it's melancholy, the goodbyes that, as I said before, are not really goodbyes, because we're always together, we're always connected, we're never apart. But that feeling of endings, that feeling that we move through as we experience a death, a part of a part of ourselves, because with every move, with every transition, there's sort of a death, and a rebirth, so endings and new beginnings with that, of course. So there's the sadness aspect. It's met also with, though, excitement, because I know after moving through my personal experience upon this earth on my journey, I know without a shadow of doubt that I am supported and that I am guided fully each and every step. And as I raise my awareness and tune in more and more, I feel more and more confident and more sure of each and every step that I take. And I'm more confident in the choices and the decisions that I make. We'll get to choices and decisions in a minute. And so there's that excitement of, I know that there's a great adventure coming. And I know that it's just around the corner. And I know it's going to be something that's really, really amazing. That's just, and so I'm kind of like that kid, like that inner child within me is kind of like, oh my gosh, it's like the day after Thanksgiving here in the United States, and we're getting to be towards Christmas time. And so we get a little bit excited about the holidays coming. But now, juxtaposed to that, there is, of course, the unknown. And what does the unknown typically bring? It brings the anxiety. It brings the fear. And for me, this time, that's not enormous. It's not tremendous at this moment. That's not the overarching feel that I feel. It's more so the excitement and a little bit of the melancholy. But the melancholy can also feel a bit like peace, and it can feel a bit like surrender. Like when you're in absolute peace, or you're feeling, when you're in your awareness and you're detached in that deep inner space where you're just observing, you don't feel anything really, except for maybe peace. It's just an ease in the breath. It's just a very light feeling. It's not heavy at all. And so it's melancholy. There's the peace aspect. There's the happiness and the joy and the exuberance and the excitement of anticipation of what's coming and but then there's also the worry and the need to oh my gosh, I need to prepare. How do I prepare for this? And so there's all of that. And then the anxiety of the unknown. Okay, so we've discussed the feels now. And so now I'm tuned in to every moment being sacred, being fully aware, fully present in each moment, which really, to be honest, right now is a challenge because I'm trying to be fully present with you by trying to be fully present here in this beautiful space. But fully present. So I got to the sunrise. I typically do some journaling. I go now and I put my feet into the ocean and I envision where it is that I would dream to be. I do have a place that I wish that I could go, that I am manifesting, that I'm calling in. And so I point my feet in that direction and I'm there with the ocean. And to me, it's as if the ocean is happy to see me, and it's rushing up to me and saying, Yuli, Yuli's here, and its arms are out open and stretched, and it's rushing up to kiss my toes, and it knows that I'm going on a journey because the ocean knows everything. It's so wise. And so it anoints my feet, preparing me for my journey. And I can feel its coldness. It's like cold, icy hands grabbing around my ankles and pulling me forward, like, come, 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 come closer, come further, go ahead and start walking towards your destination. But yet, it's whisking the sand out from under my feet as well. And I'm becoming more and more grounded and rooted in. And so there was a whole message that was there for me revolving around that, but that's a whole nother tangent. I do have now some writings on Substack you can check out, and there's one about that, sort of like a short story, and it's called Building a Bridge. And so just find me there on Substack under my name, Yuli, a nun, and I'll put that information down in the description below for you if you want to check that out. But so yeah, I'm just noticing how everything feels, how the wind feels against me, every part of my body, how the water interacts with me, how the energy of the beach at sunrise with nobody there is so expansive, holding space for me to just completely expand my energy out and to be with my thoughts, because there are no electronics clogging up the energetic pathways, and I can really tune in. I can really get quiet there, and the sound of the waves creating a hush in my brain, in my head, in my ears, and feeling and hearing the whisper of Grandmother Ocean. And it just really lulls me into a very sacred space. And this moment also has become now very, very sacred. And so now we have the waking in the morning and the making the bed is sacred. Placing our feet upon the floor is sacred. Going to the bathroom, I suppose, is sacred. Making the tea, preparing the tea, and as if preparing a meal, a final meal, making the provisions for our journey forward. Very sacred. The drive to the beach, which is sort of symbolic of the sacred journey to the destination, and the destination being, in this case, the beach and the sunrise and the ocean, and receiving the wisdom that these powerful elements has for us, has for me to share, and the full experience. Had my awareness not been there, which it has not on some occasions, I get distracted by also my dog friends. I have some dog friends that always come and greet me on the beach. But even that, today, I cried tears of gratitude for those little dog friends who see me from miles away and seem to hone in on my scent, on my energy, and they just come racing, very much like the waves of the ocean. They're just so excited to see me, and that's a wonderful feeling, and that's very sacred. And what if, this was the last time that I would be experiencing this sunrise here on the beach? I'm very fortunate. I have experienced sunrises in other places, and I'm here on the east coast of the United States, and so I'm very fortunate to be able to experience this. And the new home may not have this The new destination is possible. Maybe it'll have better sunrises. I don't know. But even the sunrise tomorrow, the sun might not rise. It'll rise. It'll just be behind clouds. And I have experienced that and have embraced each morning with its own reverence and its own appreciation. Even the rainy days, I do go, but I sit in my car and listen to the raindrops and watch them go down the windshield or down the driver's side window and experience it that way. And sometimes I'll even roll the window down so that I can feel a little bit of the splash. But to fully experience a moment, what does that mean for you, to fully experience a moment? Now, to fully experience a moment, so let's just take this in right now. Above us, look at this canopy of trees in the blue sky. There's only a very slight breeze, but it can be felt, it can be experienced. The birds are chirping, singing. And if you really quiet yourself, really be present here, you can stretch your hearing and see how many birds you can hear, how many different sounds you can hear. When you open your eyes, you can see all the different shades of green that are around you, and of course you see all the different flora and fauna and the textures and the trees. And if you then, go past that and you then have the smells, it's springtime here, and new growth has that sort of chlorophyll scent in the air. There's the smell of honeysuckle and various kinds of flowers that are in bloom filling the air. I can smell the pine trees and the pine sap. I can feel the breeze on my skin, on my hair. Feel the ground beneath my feet. So with all the senses, taste, the air is a bit sweet, but so to move past that, to fully experience the moment, we need to move past the senses. And so moving past the senses, sometimes it's easier to close your eyes so that way you can actually move past the other senses. It's almost like the eyes are like the gateway sense. Unless you're a blind person or one who can't see very well, then of course your other senses would be heightened. Your hearing would be heightened. Your smell would be heightened, etc. But to move past the senses and sort of have that extra sensory perception, sort of like feel into your spatial awareness, feel the energy of all of this life interacting with you, interacting with your energy. And how does that feel? Because, we are really one with all that is around us. It's really important for us to give reverence to this beauty, to this sanctuary, to this life. We move through our day not even aware of this, not even paying any attention to it, completely ignoring it, taking it for granted. But what if this was gone? What if I was standing here and all of a sudden all of the trees fell down and all of this went away and it was replaced with smokestacks and sludge? What if I was just completely zapped out of this particular area and I was put onto a mountaintop in an icy snow? That would be a vastly different landscape and a very different experience. And I guess what I'm getting at is we really need to slow down and pay attention, bring our awareness really to all of the things that we do, and then also to notice the decisions and the choices that we make that bring us into those moments. So here's an example. So the day, either yesterday or the day before, I can't recall which, but when I first experienced this and had this aha moment of how sacred each and every moment is, and if there's a moment in which, or a time that I feel stuck or stagnant, I can simply just make a different choice and do sort of a pattern interrupt. And in making a different choice in that moment, I am creating a whole new set of moments that unfolds before me. New paths open up, new doorways appear, and going a different way, like for instance, after the sunrise, I typically would go to the forest and do a 5-mile hike, and then after that, go back to the apartment, eat some brekkie. Unless I need supplies, then I'll go to the store and get supplies. But this time I said, you know what, I'm not going to go to the forest. I'm going to go ahead and go onto the store, even though it's not open. I'll just sit there and I'll meditate and look around, because it was the place that I work part-time. And so I was then experiencing that place, saying, what if I didn't work here anymore? This would have a different feel to it, sitting in this parking lot. What if this was the last time that I was going to shop and get my favorite items from this store that are not available at other stores? And so, just really, again, still leaning into this. So then I go into the store and I choose, okay, well, I'm not going to get the same things. I'm going to get something different. And now this opens up a whole different opportunity for my body to get different nutrients, because I've chosen something different. Maybe my body needed a little change. Maybe I needed more vegetables or whatever. And so I got the supplies, and then I went home and I had my breakfast, which again was then a ritual. And I savored each moment of that. Every bite, I savored it, I blessed it, and it was like a consecrated act. And it just made everything so much more special. And so later on, so then I met a friend, a fellow artist, to pick up some artwork from a gallery, and we had a lovely chat. That was even at a different time. I wasn't supposed to go until 3:30, but I chose to go at 12:15. Then after that, I immediately then went to the forest. Well, at the forest, I found gifts. I had come across 2 snakes, which had wisdom for me and medicine and healing for me, facing more fears, recognizing that I had faced those fears, and giving myself an opportunity to rejoice, because those are really big fears, and that I was very comfortable in recognizing that, because I was present in that moment, that I was able to see, look at what I've overcome, and was able to celebrate myself, which is really important. We need to celebrate ourselves. And then moving further on, I found the most amazing feather, which I mean, really, as soon as I found it, I was like, well, if I would have come here at the time that I normally come, there's a large chance that this feather would not be here because it was a really amazing feather. Surely somebody else would have picked this up. This feather was for me. And so, yeah, because I made different choices in that previous moment, it opened up a string of other moments that then became not more or less sacred, but because I was honoring each and every moment and present in each and every moment, I was aware of the blessings that each moment held for me and lessons that each moment held for me and ways of that which I can honor the moment and honor myself and honor others as well. And so when we're fully present and fully experiencing each moment, and if you think about that, if you're going to celebrate and experience each and every single moment with such reverence and gratitude and appreciation, how amazing would our lives be if all of these moments were just experienced in this way? Pretty awesome, right? Yeah. It's like a life hack. It's the biggest life hack, and all you have to do is bring your awareness into this now, sacred now moment and appreciate it for all that it has to offer, to savor it, to like fully experience it like it's like your favorite food or your favorite like delicate morsel. Is just to just like it's something lavished, or I don't know if that's even the proper use of that word, so sorry. But yeah, it's really been a game changer for me. And, you know, and recognizing also choices being a big part of that. And to choose differently. Because we have that power, we have that ability to choose differently. I mean, I'm even in a different forest than I usually am when I record these walking and talking videos. Right now I've chosen to sit instead of walking, and you know, it's the note is might not even super be noticeable what the offerings are right now, but I don't know, I feel pretty relaxed rather than huffing and puffing. And I think that also you might be able to hear me a little bit better because my speaker is not bouncing around. So I think there's benefits to all, for it's the greatest good for all, right? And so that's pretty much what I got for you today, this week. Who knows where I'll be next week? What if I'm in the magical lands? How exciting would that be? I guess you'll just have to stay tuned. And cherish your moments. Savor your moments. Make different choices. Create a beautiful life. Be present. I'm so grateful for each and every one of you. Thank you for letting me share my journey with you. Thank you for traveling with me. We are essentially walking each other home. And it's lovely to have you on this journey. I love you all so very much. If you like this content, please do show me by mashing that little thumbs up button. If you would like to be notified when I put things out, hit the bell. I am putting more and more on Substack. Once again, I'll put that information down there. I've just been really inspired to write lately as part of my creative process. And I can't really share that so much here on YouTube. But I do really like making these videos for you, and I'm just going to continue doing that for as long as it's aligned and I'm able to. But right now, I'm just really savoring this moment with you as if you're here with me. Thank you so very much. Be well.